So on this video, I am going to be giving you 7 reasons why you should not leave your country. Yes, as an expert, I feel that a lot of third world country experts and really good professionals are moving out of their countries, and they're moving out thinking that, oh, when I get to the first world, when I get to Europe, when I get to the UK, it's going to be all good and better. Here are 7 reasons why you do not want to move. And trust me, I've lived all of them. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So, how are you guys doing? This is Queen Esther's Diaries. Esther here, and I am going to be sharing with you 7 reasons why I think you should not leave your country. In Nigerian, we will say Japa. So there's this new wave of European countries like Germany or the UK or even the US and Australia and Canada looking for skilled workers from all over the world. And the countries that suffer so much from this kind of brain drain are third world countries, mostly West African countries and Asia. Now, while you might be thinking that, oh, this is such a good opportunity, I should take it, this is good, I thought so too. There are actually issues that no one is actually telling you about. And that is what I am going to be telling you about on this video.
It's about to go down.
And in case if you're asking, I'm a nurse and I've been living in Germany for the last 5 years and almost 6 years now. And trust me, I've gone through a whole lot. Probably if someone told me what it would be like being here, I would have said no, not to come. Even though I actually already said no. Not even knowing this was all it was going to encompass. But right now, I feel like it is good. If you feel you want to travel, okay, travel. But make sure you travel with the right information and that you're ready for whatever is going to come against you. Reason number 1, friends. Yes. So you're going to leave your country right now. You're going to leave all your friends, everybody you know, your acquaintances, your colleagues, your partners, probably your business partners, and you're going to leave all of that to come to Europe to work. I am going to almost assure you that for at least the first few years of your life here, you might not have a reasonable relationship, unless it is a relationship that comes from heaven. Like, it doesn't happen easy. Speaking for myself, making friends in Germany is one of the hardest things. Up until now, at the time I made this video, I don't still have any white friend.
I'm alone.
Seriously, I don't have any Caucasian German friend. It is weird, but it is true. I saw a video on the internet some time ago on Instagram of a lady, a Nigerian lady living in Germany for the last 7 years or 8 years. She said she is married to a German, but still does not have one Caucasian German friend. Do you know how weird that is? Now, my colleagues always have a way of playing around it and explain it away, like, oh, they usually make their friendships really early, like build their friendships really early, like in high school and probably in university, and these friendships kind of follow them all through their lifetime. And since we come in as experts and just go straight into the workspace, for some of you, you're even working from home. Hey God, you have no idea what you're about to get into.
You don't know why it's going on.
But yet, as she explained, coming to the workspace, they are not trying to make friends in the workspace, but you are. And they're not about to help you because they already have friends. They already have the friendship box in their life ticked. So why do they want to add you to it?
Why?
Making friends is not a joke. It's not easy. For some people, it's almost so impossible. It took me almost five years to actually start making my first few friends. And in the whole of the 5 years and the 6 years, I still don't even have one Caucasian German friend as I speak to you. You see what we're talking about? These things are not easy. So if you're not ready for loneliness, and I mean loneliness that will drive you or could drive you to depression, I think you should probably take a few steps back from moving to a European country or any other country that is not your country for work. Probably visit, but don't live there. There's this woman that used to always tell me when I just moved to Germany, Esther, don't jump from the window. Don't jump from the window. I understood that statement 2 years later. Don't ask me how.
Don't ask! For God's sakes, don't ask!
Taxes, my people, taxes. Do you think that you're ready to pay the amount of taxes we pay here? For a regular worker, you're going to be paying about one third of your salary into taxes. And I'm not just saying just taxes, I'm saying your health insurance, your retirement benefits, your unemployment benefits, your care insurance, and all of those things just keep taking money away from you. And the more you earn, the more taxes you pay. So now, do you really, really want to pay all of those taxes? Okay. The country where I come from, yes, I pay taxes, but not in this alarming rate. My God. So you see the position online, they tell you, oh, this is what you're going to be paid. And you're like, oh, wow, oh, wow. I laugh in Bangladesh. Seriously, the taxes are crazy. So if you're not ready to give up at least a third of what you're earning just for taxes and those kind of payments and social security and all of that, probably you want to rethink your idea or the thoughts of leaving your country right now, especially if you're single. Because as a single lady, I pay more taxes than a married person would pay. The only difference is if the married person is working and their spouse isn't working, then they pay so much less taxes. But if both of them are working, we pay about the same kind of taxes. It's crazy, I know. But we pay. We don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. Even though I know some health insurance companies actually offer you to pay less, so that only on the condition that you will not use the healthcare facility or you will not need it for the whole year. Yeah, I heard of it. So someone was explaining to me one time how the health insurance company actually told him he could pay less if he didn't use the health system. The deal was that he would pay the normal amount for the whole of the year, and then after the year, if he did not use the health facility, he'll be refunded a huge chunk of that money. That sounds good, but I'm about to use the health facility. What? Don't ask me questions. Racism. Have you heard of racism? Do you know how prevalent it is in the European countries? It's crazy. Yes. Now you're asking, oh Esther, have you experienced some kind of racism? Yes, I have. Now there are two kinds of racism. I like to classify them in these two. Some are like outright, right in your face, and while the others are kind of subtle. So you kind of tell that this person is acting towards you that way because they think that you are the lesser person in the room. For example, I remember one time I work in the emergency unit for your information, and I remember receiving a patient one time. So as the patient was being brought in by the Red Cross, they noticed as they were about to transfer the patient on the stretcher or on the bed that there was some kind of mess just beside the bed. I think the patient who was there before spilled water there and no one saw it early enough. So now this new patient was supposed to take this same position and it was wet. And the Red Cross individual, the paramedic, called my colleague and told my colleague to please get the cleaner to clean up that place. So my colleague came out and came to tell me, oh, the place that this new patient is supposed to take is actually messy and the other positions are filled. So we have to get the cleaner to quickly clean that up before we can transfer the patient. I was like, okay, cool. Let me go and receive the patient. So I walked into the room to receive my patient. And the paramedic was like, oh, good. So there it is on the floor. I knew what he meant. I just looked at him and said, okay, I see that. How is the patient? And he was like, oh, he was trying to explain that. But then I ignored him and started working on the patient, putting the patient on the monitor and checking and asking for vitals. And then he kind of shrunk back, looked at his colleague and had that look of, oh my God, what did I just do? I saw that in his face. I saw it was let's say an innocent mistake. But bro, don't do that.
They play. They play.
So like I said, there are subtle racism. There are subtle racist situations, and there are so outright ones when people are going to tell you to your face, "What are you doing here? Go back to your country," or make faces at you. I've shared many of that on my channel. So, yeah, I told my colleague one time I didn't know I was black until I came to Germany. Like, you really don't know you're different. You don't know that you're something else until someone tells you, "Oh, you're different," or "You're not." It's weird, but it's a thing. So if you're not ready to be patient with people while they learn to unracist themselves, probably you should be staying in your country. Yes. So that you don't go and fight in public and get into police trouble. Which one do you prefer? Ah, if you ask me, stay in your house and be okay. Number 4, the system. This system is complicated. Complicated. Oh, I don't know how many times to explain it. Is it the schooling system? So there are 3 different types of high schools. But then when you want to study, then there is only the university. But then there is the training. But if you're going for the university, you are not doing the training. But if you're doing the training, you're not allowed to go to the university. There is just a lot of complications going on up and about. See, there are good things going on. The thing is, they have a system built out that has too many complications in it for it to create or bring about a good fruit, if that makes sense to you. So you want to enjoy the good things, for instance, in Germany, the benefits here, you have to also calculate or also bear in mind that you'll be doing a lot of systemic work, taking papers here, filling forms back and forth. Forget about anything being digitalized. Forget it. Germany was not in the meeting.
For big bad sin.
Germany did not get the digitalization memo. Like, we're all still doing paper and sending posts. So it's not about to get easier on that part. And then you will be constantly contacted in German. In German, even if you can't speak German, it's not their business. You are in Germany, so you should learn some German. So, oh, that used to stress me out, especially when my bank. No, if the state was sending me letters in German, I would say, okay, it's a German state. I get it. I forgive you. It's okay. But my bank, you are holding my money and telling me about my money in German. Are you kidding me? Didn't I tell you that I was more fluent in English than German when I was coming?
You were not informed too? Eh?
Why don't you have a provision for me who doesn't speak English to get my information? Who doesn't speak German to get my information in English? Why not? But I guess that fight is still to be fought because this is 6 years since I moved here and none of my banking documents come in English. None. They still expect that I speak German. And not just German, high German. High German. Anyway, let me focus. So finding a community. For me, finding a community was looking for a church. Like some of you know, I'm a Jesus baby. I move into a new city and I'm like, I need to find where the other Jesus babies are in this city. Guys, it took a while. It took a while because then, not that there are absence of churches. Yeah, there are churches around, but then you want to look for churches that are Bible believing. That's a thing. And why do I say Bible believing? In Germany, you don't have to be born again to be a pastor. So you could pastor a church even while you're not born again. I know it doesn't make any spiritual sense to you, but it's a thing. It's a real thing. You don't have to be born again to be a pastor. So how
No offense, but how?
do you go to a church and your pastor is not really into this thing? What are we doing again? Yeah, what is it that we're actually doing in this place? Because right now I'm beginning to second guess this whole thing. How can the pastor not be born again? But who am I to judge? I can't judge anybody. I can't. So finding a Bible believing church is one huge thing. And for some other people, it is finding a church that is culturally compatible to you. So we know you're in Germany, but you don't want to go head on into the German culture and start absorbing that immediately because it's a whole lot of shock. Trust me, it's a huge shock. then you choose to look for probably a church that kind of has mixed nationalities, or a church that is predominantly people from your country or from your region or from your continent. To find that church, oh, you are gotta use Google. I'm not just talking about the google.com. I mean, like, you're gonna be using to look for the church. It was difficult to find one. Even though what I did in the beginning was to go to Google and list out all the churches in my area and start visiting them one by one. That was my idea. I thought that would be great. But God saved my life and saved me the mileage on my legs and led me to this church through a friend who don't even attend the church. And that's how I found the Bible believing church. Now I have a lot of friends from Nigeria, at least many of them from Nigeria now, who are living in Germany but are finding it difficult to find a church. And many times we try to create a group where we can fellowship and talk. Guys, if you're watching this video and you're living in Germany and you're yet to make Christian friends, hit me up on my social media handles. Okay, maybe here on YouTube too, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Yes, I'm on TikTok now. That's true. Gen Z like me. Hit me up there and I will connect you to these groups. It is amazing. Like, you get enough time, you meet people of like minds talking about Christian stuff, you get people you can fellowship with at least once a week online and things like that. So yeah, if you're interested in that, let me know. I'm here for you. I got you. I got you. And last but not the least, for me was my career. Yes, my career was the last reason. Just in case, if my last 3 reasons did not convince you enough to leave these countries alone and stay in your country, maybe this one will. Maybe it will. And this is mostly for health professionals. So if you're a health professional moving to Germany, please let me start advising you now. Many of the qualifications or the additional qualifications you're doing in your country will not be recognized here. I'm talking midwifery, I'm talking psychiatry, I'm talking everything. Any of those other courses you do in your country is most likely not to be recognized here. Maybe this law is going to be changed. Maybe when the opportunity card visa comes out, maybe these things are going to be improved. But as of now, it is not recognized.
Are you playing? What type of plane is this?
Mm-hmm. So what is mainly going to be recognized, at least for nurses, is just your nursing certificate. As for your bachelor's in nursing, that too might not be recognized because it was not done on German soil. At least German people just proud of it. And this is just a tip of the iceberg. I've made a different video explaining why I hate to work in Germany. You should see that video. I made that video probably like 2 years ago and I'm still working here. Double standards. But you should see the video anyway. On that video, I explained a lot of professionally relevant things that you should consider before you leave your country, and you should also consider that they might not be available when you move here, especially if you work in the health sector, and especially, again, if you're a nurse like me. But forget though, that loneliness is real. You gotta weep and cry, and nobody's gonna hear you. Okay, then focus. So with these few points of mine, I hope I've been able to convince you and not confuse you that you should stay in your country and not move to Europe or any other country you're planning to expat to. Don't do that. Don't do it until you're sure that you can handle all of these 7 points, or until you have researched all of these 7 points as it relates to the country you're moving to. Once again, this is Esther, a nurse, Nigerian nurse living in Germany and practicing in Germany. I love making this video and I hope you love watching it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to everyone you know. Till next time, see you. Mwah.
You make me feel